Maybe midnight or midday, never early, never late. He gon' stand by what he claims.
Last time on Double K.
What's going on?
I'm in jail.
What? For what?
Look, I just told you I'm not breaking you out of here.
No. What if you were my lawyer?
You're joking, right?
Hey, your defense attorney. Do you even have one?
Well, he's
Right here, Your Honor.
right there.
What were you gonna tell me the prosecutor was?
I asked my question first, not. Oh no.
Why, hello, you two. Eric, I've always kind of expected this from you.
So why are you doing this?
Well, the real estate market isn't doing too great right now.
Well, I hope you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I do too.
The prosecution calls Brian Turner to the stand.
Who is this guy?
Well, why don't you wait a second? You might just find out.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
My name is Brian Turner. I'm the Yellowstone County coroner.
Well, she's pulling out the big gun really quick.
Yeah, I knew she wasn't gonna make this easy for us.
She never has.
Nope.
So you performed the autopsy on the victim. Can you testify about your findings?
As I stated in my report on the autopsy, was performed at 8:30 a.m. the morning after the murder. Our findings were nothing too special, just a bullet wound throughout the victim's body. The bullet was of a 9mm handgun and is fragmented throughout the upper torso. The bullet apparently shattered throughout the spinal cord, so the fragments went all over part of the spinal column.
All right, thank you, Brian. The court will make note of that.
Well, as it stands, I have no further questions for the witness, as he's already answered all the questions I could have asked.
Well, that doesn't prove that I did it.
I think you're becoming too hopeful.
I will bring this to the court's attention before proceeding. This handgun was found at the scene of the crime, a 9mm. And this weapon bears a single set of prints, and those are of the defendant. The rifling marks of the bullet perfectly match the rifling inside the gun.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Hey, you got this. You have to have this.
And defense, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Ready as I'll ever be. So how you doing?
I'm well.
Good. How's the wife?
Your Honor, I object to this line of questioning. It's pointless.
Objection sustained. John, stop asking questions that are stupid and not related to the thing.
Okay, so where did the autopsy report state that you found the bullet?
In the left lung central lobe.
Alright. No further questions.
Your Honor, I'd like a new attorney.
It's a little too late for that, Mr. Holstein.
Hey, give me a break. Are you messing me in here?
My life is on the line. You need to do better than that.
Alright, I'll see what I can do.
Well, that was a great line of questioning. Prosecution, do you have any other witnesses to call up to the stand?
The prosecution calls up the defendant, Erik Holstein, to the stand.
Well, here goes nothing. Please, don't screw this up.
I'm gonna try not to.
It's a start.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Erik Holstein, refinery worker. I work at the refinery here in town.
Would you consider yourself a level-headed person?
I mean, of course, I wouldn't be here to stand trial if I wasn't.
A fair point. So, did you and Karmen get along?
Well, I would assume. I mean, I'd say me and her got along very well, yeah.
So you aren't really sure.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's a simple enough question. Putting aside any biases or predispositions, did you two get along?
Yes, of course.
Then answer me this, why did you shoot her?
I didn't shoot her.
All of the evidence points towards you being the culprit in this case. So unless you have something to contradict it, I suggest that you confess.
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled. Erik, please answer the question.
I'll ask again to make it clear. Why did you shoot Karmen Colson?
I didn't shoot her.
Alright, I'll move on to the next question. Where were you the night of the murder at 7:50 p.m.?
In my apartment.
Is there a 9mm handgun at your place of residence?
Yes, there is.
No further questions.
Alright, well, there's no reason to cross-examine, and it looks like we already have a verdict.
Hold it, Your Honor. You can't pass a verdict without questioning the witness.
Alright, well, let's make this worth my time.
So the prosecution established that you were at the scene of the crime. That's right. Okay, and where were you at before 7:50?
Well, I was at your house.
Interesting. So how long would you say you were at my house?
Approximately an hour and a half.
Now, I find that interesting, because between the times of 7:30 and 7:45 is supposedly, according to the autopsy report, when Karmen was murdered. Now, in order for that to be true, one of three things might have to be true here. One, the autopsy report is wrong, which I don't find likely. Two, you're lying to me, and I don't think that's a good idea. I think you already know that. Or three, someone was at the scene of the crime between 7:30 and 7:45 before you arrived at home.
It's really an interesting theory, isn't it? I don't want to give away too much too soon, but according to an eyewitness near the scene of the crime, they saw Erik flee the crime scene shortly after they heard a gunshot.
Well, how's that possible? Erik wasn't at the scene of the crime.
Well, unless you can prove that Erik wasn't there, there's nothing I can do for you.
Erik, please tell me you have like a picture or something from the night you were there.
Sorry, I don't.
Damn it.
Would you like me to call up the next witness to testify about what they saw?
Yeah, if you could, that would be great.
I guess the defense has no further questions.
Yeah, not that you had any choice. But you know what? I think it's time to break for recess. I'm gonna go play some basketball.
This is off to a really rough start.
You're telling me I didn't think Devin was going to go this hard on us.
I mean, I know you were there with me that night. How could they have seen you do it?
I think I may have an answer to that one for you.
Great. Here we go again.
I don't think you have a big enough understanding of this case.
What do you mean by that?
Take this, and I think it'll give you a better understanding.
Evidence. Should I ask why you accepted this from our earlier discussion?
Well, I was thinking about it, and I figured keeping it to myself wouldn't be right.
Thanks, Devin.
Well, John, I think we should also go back in. We gotta prepare for this last witness.
Agreed. Let's do this.
Alright, court is back in session for the trial of Erik Holstein. Prosecution, do you have your next witness?
Of course, the prosecution calls Kendall Times to the stand. State your name and occupation for the court record.
My name is Kendall Times and I work at Walmart.
According to the court record, you saw Erik flee the scene of the crime and leave in his truck.
That's right.
Can you testify to us today what you saw?
I'd be happy to. If I recall correctly, I was just getting off work. I parked my vehicle in the apartment complex and I heard a gunshot. I was obviously panicked by this and I hid in a nearby bush. When I heard it, I saw someone run outside our Karmen's apartment and they ran down the stairs. As soon as I saw them, I recognized them immediately. It was Erik. He ran towards his truck and drove away. I went to investigate the apartment and saw Karmen on the ground.
An unfortunate tragedy. So is this everything you saw that night?
Every single detail.
Very well. The prosecution rests.
Thank you, prosecution. Defense, it is now your time to cross-examine.
Why are you still holding that, by the way?
I don't know.
Put it down.
Thank you. So you think you got this one?
Pretty sure I do. And I'm pretty sure this might just be wrapped up for our little friend here. So let's clarify a few things before we continue. So you were still in your car at the time, correct?
Yeah, I haven't even turned off the vehicle yet.
Okay. Have you ever met Karmen before?
Yeah, we work at Walmart. She's also happened to be my neighbor.
Okay. So you were on your way home from work that night then, correct?
Yeah, I was called in to help pull truck.
Interesting. So if I were to look at a report of who was there that night, you would show up then?
No, no, because I was called in and wouldn't show up.
You know, it's interesting that you say that. The reason I think you wouldn't show up on the report is because you weren't there.
That's a bold accusation. Nothing you can prove.
I think this might change your mind.
What is that?
This is an affidavit from your direct supervisor, and I think it states the contrary. So, you have a couple options here. You can either tell me the truth, or I can read this out for everyone in the court.
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled! Please continue.
So if you could, just go ahead and revise your testimony for me.
Fine, so I was home that night. I heard the gunshot, I peered out my window, and I saw Erik running down the stairs already. Couldn't mistake him for anybody else.
So wait, you looked out your window?
Of course, who wouldn't?
Most sane people I know. Defense, you may continue cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. So, can you tell me what Erik was wearing that night then?
He was wearing a hoodie, lit up and everything. What?
Well, I would end the cross-examination right here, but this is actually kind of entertaining.
Can you not? I kind of want to get out of here.
Alright, fine. So, what about Erik was unmistakable? How are you able to identify him?
Well, I saw Erik leave downstairs, and the person had the same exact build as Erik.
So, no one else can have the same build as Erik?
Well, no, but...
Alright, so this question seems to be resolving itself. I'm gonna ask one more time. What did you see?
What do you want from me? A confession?
Well, consider that you were the only one there at the scene of the crime, and that Erik is, of course, completely innocent. I have no reason but to assume that you were the one who did it.
I object to the badgering of the witness.
Yeah, John, I can't let accusations like that fly unless you have some solid evidence.
Well, I could drag this on a little bit longer, but I think the court's already aware of the facts, so I think I'm going to drop the bomb now. So, what I have here is a wonderful little document that establishes your presence and guilt at the scene of the crime.
What do you mean?
Kendall was there at the scene of the crime, and the fingerprints on the faucet as well as on the body of Karmen prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that not only was she there, but that she is also guilty of the murder. So what do you have to say for that?
You can't do this to me.
Your Honor, the defense rests.
Get back up here.
Bailiff, if you will. The court finds Erik Holstein not guilty.
Big time for that.
I'll be honest, John, you got me out of a hell of a bind.
Yeah. Well, we can discuss this in a minute. Devin!
Well, you managed to pull it off. I didn't think you had it in you.
Yeah. Well, if it weren't for all that stuff you gave me, all that evidence, I don't think I would have pulled that off as well as I did.
Good point. So you think you're gonna pursue law any further?
Oh, good God, no. This is the most stressful crap I've ever done in my entire life.
Well, I should probably get going.
Yeah.
Got stuff to do.
You and me both. See you later.
Bye.
I'm gonna need a drink after this is all over.
Hey!
Hey, what's up?
I thought I would, just congratulate you. I didn't think you'd pull it off. By the way,
Thanks.
when did you lawyer it up and do all this lawyer stuff? Lawyer.
It's a long story. It's a long story.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, now that I'm a free man, I have some time on my hands, and we can go and discuss what all of this was about.
Sure. Yeah, we'll discuss it over dinner.
Yeah, and since Erik can afford a lawyer, I think he should pay.
Hey, now hold on a minute.
I think I second that.
Yeah.
Hey,